And we are back. Couch Company Podcast. I'm John. With me, as always, Tyler.
Hey, I'm trying to make this as smooth as possible for you. Transition. Once again, this is probably the third or fourth open where the audience can't actually hear what we're talking about, but I'm slowly fading the music out.
It was pretty good. It was a lot slower. I mean, you were doing it
a lot
deliberately.
Yeah.
Because you're a dick, but I liked it, though. So joke's
trying,
on you.
No, I was trying to make it a little bit nicer. I wonder if they ever going to make like a mechanical one where I can just hit a button and they'll just add a certain amount of time
that exists.
to it. Yeah.
Well, it's like professional grade.
Yeah.
But
well, that's all we do here is professional
yeah,
grade.
true.
If you can't tell by the echo. If you can hear an echo, I apologize. But
Couch Company
only
Podcast.
a couple weeks.
Profesh. Actually, by definition, we're not professional.
Well, yeah, I guess.
You have to get paid
Yeah.
to
we talk about
do
that.
something.
Yeah.
We are amateurs.
We got to put the Patreon out there and get the After Dark special going. Logo's all done.
Couch Company After Dark would be a ride.
Yeah.
No pun intended.
Ha.
But what was I saying? I was complaining about something, and now I totally
Dude, you
forget.
complain about so many things.
I
we're complaining about Red Dead.
Yeah, I was complaining about Red Dead. So there's this YouTube channel. I forget what they're called, but they do these like community posts. Mm-hmm. They added this like a couple years ago where you can like poll your audience or whatever. It's like Twitter though, where you can only vote on 4 options. It's like hilarious.
So it's dedicated for polling, but there's only 4 options.
Yeah, just like Twitter.
That's super annoying.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
So anyways,
doesn't Twitter give you like 7?
No, this is the problem we had, remember?
Oh, maybe Spotify gives you 7.
Yeah.
Okay. Continue.
Like everything else that actually works gives you like more than 4 options. Like believe it or not, there's sometimes more than 4 things you can choose from in life.
Yeah.
Anyways, so they've been doing like all these polls, like, oh, what's the best video game of this year, and the one today was which game has the best story. Anyways, Red Dead Redemption 2, if it's ever in those 4, wins by a landslide every single time.
Doesn't matter what it is. Up against?
Today it was like God of War and maybe like Elden Ring or something.
Okay. Well,
no, it was going up against God of War, Last of Us Part 1, and Witcher 3. And it was best story.
Wow. And it won by a landslide?
Yeah, 59%. The next highest was 17, which was Last of Us.
Republican primaries. Jeez.
It's just crazy. Like, there's no... I like Red Dead.
Yeah.
It's a great game. It's one of the best games ever made, probably. And the story's good, but by that much? That's kind of wild to me. It's a little wacky.
Especially those games. Like, those are like if you would have gave me that list, I definitely would have told you... Like, I would have pretended to know and then say it was Last of Us. I'm stroking out. I can't get my words in this morning.
Oh, you would have thought that the community said Last of Us.
I don't know why I said it that way, but yes. I assumed that the community would be like all over Last of Us.
That was a really convoluted way of saying that statement. But
I'm slipping my coffee.
Yeah, I that's one of my pet peeves.
Sipping the coffee?
Yeah, like when you're in work and someone makes a mistake and they're like, oh, I haven't had my coffee yet. And then you realize it's 3:00 in the afternoon and they're just trying to save face.
Oh. No, this is the first sip of coffee I had.
Yeah. I know. But yeah, so I actually would have said that too. I think those are the 2 games that are just like they always win. Like nothing else ever wins.
For me, it would have been God of War, like the first one.
That's what I
really
liked.
It. Yeah,
you can see my little blue outline right there. For God of War.
What site is this?
Oh, this is just on YouTube. So this is like their channel. So if you're just going through your homepage, sometimes
what channel is it? Sorry,
it's called Falls Gaming.
Okay.
I don't know. I'm not even subscribed to them, but they've just been showing up in my recommended for some reason.
You keep interacting.
Well, yeah, I like if there's a vote,
wants it.
I like voting, know? But yeah, no. So that's what's been coming up. But anyways, long story long, Red Dead 2 always wins, followed by Last of Us. Unless it's gameplay, then it's any Souls game you put in there. Like Sekiro went up against like these other games, and I forget which ones they were. I can actually probably look. Let me see what the last ones are.
Speaking of Souls, I was so excited that the developers of Ori and the Blind Forest were making like a action RPG, like top down.
That's the one we saw the trailer on, and the one thing.
Yeah.
It's not the pirate one, is it though?
I don't think so. No.
It might be.
Pirate one?
I think it's pirate themed. Because you were really excited, but I could be totally wrong.
Maybe if they're
maybe it's not. Maybe it's medieval or whatever, like fantasy.
It looked more fantasy, I think.
Yeah, it was fantasy.
But anyway, everyone's saying like, "Oh, Souls guys will really like this." I'm like, "Well, great." immediately makes me not.
Yeah,
want
right.
it.
That's like my kryptonite.
Although maybe it is like that top-down view that I'll be a little bit more
Okay,
cool with. Yeah,
that's interesting.
because like I was good with the Prince of Persia stuff. You know what I mean? Like,
The
it's
one we
kind of the
just
same
played?
thing. Yeah, it's the same thing where it's like it's a tough boss fight and you keep playing it over and over again. But the perspective was better than this. Like, I hate the third person perspective where like it just feels so sluggish to play.
Yeah,
And that's a problem.
Yeah, you kind of have to anticipate. It seems like.
Yeah, which I know people like, but whatever.
Yeah. So 2 days ago was best combat, and looking back at this, I probably should have won actually. So Sekiro, Devil May Cry 5, Ghost of Tsushima, and Sifu.
That's a tough one. That's a good one though.
Was DMC 5 good combat?
I
Was
did
it really
not
good?
care for it.
Okay.
People liked it.
Ghost is interesting. It has that kind of mechanic where it's like a rock, paper, scissors. Like it's all about your stance.
Mm-hmm.
That was interesting.
So Sifu.
I never played Sifu.
Yeah, Sifu's very...
Sifu's the one where you get older.
Yeah.
Yeah. I didn't play that one.
Sifu was like really... Like every Souls game I play. Like you're playing through it and you're like, oh, this is fun. Like I like this. And then they just smack you with a boss that just pummels the
Ends your
crap
life,
out of you.
yeah.
Yeah, and you're just like, okay, well...
I remember that one best fighting game that year, which is crazy.
I could understand it, but also I don't know what else was coming out fighting game wise.
It probably wasn't a lot.
Yeah,
I mean, that's not even a fighting game.
I could see why it is. It's a brawler. It's not like your traditional fighting game, but I could see where they're kind of putting that out there.
Yeah. Okay, so they did 2 other polls where it was best year for gaming. And since they could only do 4 votes, they did 2 of them. So one of them was, I guess, I'm looking at it right now. Looks like they did odds and evens, which is weird. So the first one was 2011, 2013, 2015, and 2017. And 2013 won by a landslide because it had GTA 5 and The Last of Us. But then the third game that they listed was Black Flag, which is like, sure. But just those 2, it's like you have GTA or Last of Us or Red Dead, it's over. Like
Yeah.
it always wins.
I kind of wanted to go back and play Black Flag just to see, because like everyone really, really loves that game. Same with Assassin's Creed 2. And I get it. It was a time and place thing. But like you go back and you play that stuff, and it's not nearly as good.
What?
Like it feels as good. Like Black Flag and Assassin's Creed 2 and like just like those games. Like the gameplay is not nearly as good as your Odyssey.
Assassin's Creed was always like, at least the originals were like just mash X to parry.
Right. But
which I don't know. Like I never minded it, I guess, because I just thought it was cool. I was just
it was cool.
mowing
Like
through
it was a
everyone.
cool time and place thing. It's just if you put that up against Odyssey, the best
Right.
Assassin's Creed
Well,
game, it's
no.
not. It's not.
It's not even an
hitting.
Assassin's Creed though.
It is.
No, it's not.
Yeah.
It's like an RPG.
Okay, but that, I mean, it's still great.
It's a different game. It's a different. I don't even put it in the same category.
You're an assassin.
No, you're not.
You got your little hidden blades.
You're throwing spears, teleporting.
Yeah,
them.
but you also have your hidden blades.
So
I think.
what?
I think you have a hidden blade.
I don't even think you have hidden blades.
I think you do.
Don't think that's
I
true.
know that actually
don't
do
think
now.
that's a true statement.
Yeah. Okay.
The fact that you have to question that
that's
shows you that
that's
it's
pretty-
not a
that's
it's
pretty-
not a
that's fair.
Assassin's Creed.
I think.
I'm not saying it's a bad game. I never said that.
Yeah.
I'm just simply saying I don't count it in the series. It's just so different,
I guess, but it's very good.
and I'm just so biased towards my
Yeah.
my,
little Ezio.
my clutch my pearls.
If they remade Assassin's Creed 2, which they're probably going to end up doing
Of course,
because
they're
the
quickly
money's
running
there.
out of ideas. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, just take
You could remake
take
that
Odyssey
trilogy.
and you're good.
You could remake that trilogy, and you could make it pretty good. I think.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Gameplay wise, they have it there. They're good.
Yeah.
I think they've gotten away with it with the Viking one. Like Valhalla wasn't fun.
I haven't played an Assassin's Creed in a decade,
Yeah.
maybe more.
It's tough because the
it
new
does
one.
not
What was the
interest
new
me.
one that just came out?
I have no idea.
I can't think of
They
it.
tried to go back to the roots, right?
Yeah, and it was boring.
What was it? Middle East?
Yeah, maybe. I don't know.
Oh, I can't even think of it. That's how forgettable they are now.
Yeah. I don't know. Anyway.
Yeah. I voted for 2011, Skyrim, Minecraft, Dark Souls 1.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I could see why that lost, though.
Minecraft's big.
Minecraft's big, Skyrim's
Dark
big,
Souls
but
started everything.
Skyrim might have some lesser goodwill nowadays.
I think it has better will.
You think?
Yes.
I guess people are looking back on it fondly.
Yeah.
I don't know why.
So
I
like,
thought
hey,
Starfield
remember
was
when
like,
this came out and we all
Yeah.
liked this one and Starfield sucked? Yeah.
Starfield just put out their update where they're like, oh, now you can change your expression in photo mode. I'm like, yeah, that's what it was missing. That was the thing.
That's brutal.
Congratulations, guys. You nailed it.
That's brutal.
You know, I actually went back. So I don't think we talked about this, but I got all the ROMs and everything set and got Tekken 3 up and running. And boy, is that slow and sluggish. It's
you showed me.
crazy. Yeah.
I it could be the fact that you're emulating it, but I think it's more so the fact that it came out 25 years ago.
Yeah. But boy, does it, like, all the sounds and everything are like,
it just comes
like the
back
sound
to you?
effects. Yeah. Cause it's like everyone has one sound effect.
Oh, interesting. Dude, yeah, sounds will always get me. Like that'll make me more nostalgic than anything else, I think.
Yeah.
I don't know if you're the same way, but
No, I think I am, because like even with Spyro, like I could still quote every dragon line, the inflections that they use, that
picking
sort
up
of
a
thing.
gem, smashing the chest.
Yeah.
I mean, I just have those. And while I really liked the new one, it's fantastic. And I think it's actually like a benchmark for what remasters should be. Although, I think we've had this conversation before, but like, there's like this spectrum, right? And like on the left-hand side of the x-axis is a remaster. And then all the way on the right-hand side is a remake.
Right.
Right?
Yeah.
Now, where's that game fall? Maybe like one tick to the right?
For Spyro?
Yeah, because it's largely the same, but I feel like when you completely overhaul the engine and everything, right?
I would give it.
Can't
how
really
many ticks are there?
I don't
Is this
know.
on
That's a good
10-point
question.
scale?
I'm not sure.
Or is it 5?
10-point scale, maybe? Or
Is it a 5?
It could be 5.
If it's 5, then it's 1 point.
So what I
It's
mean by
1 tick.
ticks for the audience, because they can't see my hand movements. I mean, they probably understand, but like, so you have, one all the way on the left-hand side of the line is just a pure remaster, which in my mind is an upscale. Exactly. It's same engine, same everything, just literally upscaling the resolution.
Which I had Tekken running at 4K upscaled. Which might have also been a reason why it wasn't running well.
Oh, yeah. There's just a lot of things you can
Tweak
do
with it. I didn't. I was like, yep, this is what I wanted. And then I immediately deleted everything and went back to Tekken 8. Anyway.
That makes sense. And then every tick you go, and then our complete remake, I would say, would be like FF7 remake.
Yeah.
Where it's kind of almost just inspired to the point where it's just a totally different game, right?
That's tough.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I would almost say that that's a tick beyond the scale.
Which, Final Fantasy 7. Yeah, true. Because of, all the shenanigans.
Like,
I guess
you can't even do it that way because it's like, it's 3 games.
Yeah, but no, that's fair. Well, it's also like
it's different universe.
Yeah, it's
or
different.
whatever.
Yeah. It's mumbo jumbo.
I can't wait for you to start the game,
Is it crazy,
dude? I have
Kyle,
no
right?
idea what's going on.
Really?
I have no concept of.
It's fucking crazy.
I don't get it.
You don't get anything.
Yeah, it's not. It's not.
Do you
wild,
like that feeling, or do
crazy.
you not like that feeling?
I just don't want that. I want to understand, like, what is going on, because I remember the part that I'm in from 7. Not to jump into Final Fantasy, but like, I remember some stuff.
Okay.
But then, like, right before that, there's this whole thing that I'm like, wait, what? Like, what is going on? And now I'm wondering, like, did I have to play the DLC? Did I have to play didn't they put a Crisis Core something or other out?
But that was the same. They didn't touch anything with that. That was literally the same as the original game.
So then maybe I didn't miss anything there, but like...
I would doubt it. Although you have to think the reason they put that... There's got to be a reason they put that out, right?
Yeah.
So...
I don't know. It's kind of like bonkers.
Is it like Kingdom Hearts bonkers?
Not yet.
Okay.
But that's what I hear. Like by the end, people are like, we have no idea what's going on.
Jesus.
Yeah.
I don't think people are going to like that.
I don't know.
Although it's getting rated very highly, so maybe they do like that.
Yeah.
See, people are very adverse to Kingdom Hearts. People are very 50-50 on it. Like, because it just gets so crazy. Like that Tekken video you sent me is like the introduction to starting to understand what the fuck's going on in that story. I'm here for it because I grew up with those games.
Yeah.
But even like the third one, because I've only played the main ones.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, third one's coming out. That came out like what?
For Kingdom Hearts, you mean?
Yeah, like 4 years ago now.
The third one?
Yeah.
At least.
Probably, yeah. Which is crazy. It feels like yesterday. But I was like, oh, yeah, I'm going to get...
Wait, was it the third one?
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
That was the third one. Yeah, 2 was forever. 2 was amazing. That was the best
that's
one.
the last one I played was 2. I played 1 and 2.
2 is great. 1 and 2
I think
were
it
great.
came in a pack on PlayStation.
Yeah, they remastered those, the final mix edition or whatever. Yeah. So they, which to our honest scale, probably one tick.
Yeah. But anyway, like that's the whole thing is I think Spyro would be maybe like 1 tick above.
Yeah, like
number
2
or something.
Like the second maybe, 2 out of 5.
Maybe it is 3.
I don't think so because everything's the same. So every dragon location is the same. Every gem's the same. The thing that gets it 1 tick for me to the right, so a 2 out of 5.
They re-recorded everything, and it looks a different engine and everything.
It's a different engine, and the gameplay is different. It feels different. So if you go back and play the first one, Spyro does not move the same. And the only reason I noticed that is because I played so much of that shit when I was a kid.
But it's because they unified them. So it's like on one hand,
no, even if you played. I'm talking the original 3 across the board.
Right. But what I'm saying is like his look changes over the course of the games. His movement changes over the course of the games. Like the responsiveness and like everything just keeps getting tweaked
I think 1
slightly.
and 2 are very similar.
They're similar, but it still changes. So what they did is they kind of like redid it, and then it was like, okay, this is your Spyro for all 3 games.
Which is good.
Yeah.
But
it's like,
I love the movement in the first game.
Yeah, where you could just hold sprint the entire time. And
it was tight. You could and you could do like a jump move where you could leap. Mm-hmm. So if you held square and X, you can, but it's delayed. I'm telling you, dude, I should be a speedrunner for this because I can just tell there's a difference. Yeah, I can just tell.
I think once you get used to it again, but I see what you're saying.
I like it. Don't get me wrong. I think it's an amazing remaster.
Like every stair, you can just sprint to it and like you do like the little hops on it and never stop.
Yeah. No, but I think that is the right call, right? Like, I really like that when they're doing like a trilogy and they're remaking everything or remastering everything. It's like unify that across the board. I mean, like obviously, but I think that was just a really good call. I think they did a great job with that.
Yeah,
yeah.
I like that. But again, it's like the pinnacle of like a remaster, and then you have your Final Fantasies, and honestly, maybe not even your Final Fantasies. Maybe it's more like Resident Evil. Like where you're not screwing with like the storyline and adding new characters and stuff.
I would say that like Resident Evil 4 is like a really good remake. Yeah. Because they did take some liberties for sure at certain points, but the core of it is the same. See, like a key component for me as well is like, does the dialogue change, right? In Spyro, no. In Resident Evil, yes. Right? So I think that's another tip-off on where it should lie on that conversation. But
in the original Final Fantasy VII, so the weird thing with that is like you're going back in a flashback, right, into his town, like his hometown.
Yeah, that's how it starts off right after you leave. So where this game should start.
Okay, perfect. Yes, that's the one thing I didn't really remember, and it does start there.
So technically, okay. So in the original FF7, you leave Midgar. And then you actually get like an open world, but you're supposed to go to Calm. So I think what they did was they skipped you traveling to Calm and you start in Calm-ish, and that's where the flashback happens. So it's like pretty close. But if you played the DLC, at the end of the DLC, they actually give you like a little cutscene of them traveling to Calm and stuff. Yeah. So it kind of fills in the gaps there, I think.
I'm a little upset with 7 where... and it's not their fault, but like I played it all the way through a PC. Yeah. But I get none of those bonus items because it's not out on PC yet. Yeah.
Yep. I'm in the same boat.
Yeah.
So
it runs fairly well though.
Yeah. Are you running it on performance mode?
100%.
Yeah.
I switch between the two, and it's like his hair gets a little pixelated and stuff because it's like upscaling some things like that in performance mode, but it's 60 frames, more or less. Yeah. It's a lot smoother. So it's like, no.
Did you watch the Digital Foundry?
No.
I didn't because I didn't want to get spoiled on anything, even though they said, oh, we can only show a limited number of things. I've tried to not see anything on this. So
me too. Yeah. I watched the their little conference thing or whatever, which didn't really.
Digital Foundry?
No, the whatever they put out like a few weeks ago.
Square
Yeah.
Enix. Oh, okay. That's right.
Like
you
the
did
demo
watch that
announcement or whatever.
and
Yeah.
I didn't watch it because I was afraid. They always do that, dude. They're just notorious for
I didn't. Yeah.
oversharing.
I just don't. I did watch the previously on Final Fantasy.
Oh, they have that.
Yeah,
okay.
and it's
that's
actually
good.
done really well.
It's
Like
done
Red
well?
13 kind of like just
Narrates.
narrates it, and it's pretty.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna watch that. I always like watching those, even if I know what's going on. It's just a good reminder, but it's also like I like seeing how well they do it.
They towards the end of it, they do a very like blatant like, and then they're going after Sephiroth, but then Aerith like grabs him and says, "The destinies are entwined here. If you do this, it's gonna ruin like whatever, change
very
everything." And like I didn't
highlighted.
Yeah, so it's like this is a different thing.
Yeah.
Okay, now play the game. Yeah.
I really like the direction they're going in. I know that people are mixed on it, especially like OG fans. Like, I think it helps for me that I played Remake first and then went back to the original. So my mind is kind of not tainted by nostalgia. But I think it's very creative. Like, you got to think about it from a creative perspective, right? I think someone made this point and I thought it was really good. Like, when you're a creative person and you're making a project, the worst thing you can do is remake something a one for one. I mean, that's just where creativity goes to die. It's like, we already did this.
Yeah, you can't do this because fans expect X or
Yeah, like if they went through and just one for one everything with the same voice actors, because I think their casting is amazing. Like, I think they nailed everyone's part. It looks great. You know, I think they get the feeling of the game really well. Like, they understand. Obviously, because they made it.
Yeah, sure.
But
yeah.
if it was 1-to-1, I think you actually lose something there. Like there are some people that say, "Oh, that's what I want. I just wanted a 1-to-1."
They want more of a
complete.
Spyro.
Yes, but I think I really like that they're taking that risk and being like, "No, this is something more than that." And I think, like, creatively as well, you have to do something like that because you're going to see the passion behind this versus, like, I think there's more of a risk if you're just rehashing it, because you got to remember, in Spyro it was a different company that did it. Like, if Insomniac would not want to do that, right?
Yeah,
they would probably.
that's a really good point. Like, that's the same thing with like 343 doing Halo and stuff. Like, whenever they grabbed the reins of it, they were.
I think that
remastering.
allows you
Yeah.
to do a remaster really well because you're new to the IP, right? You get that fresh perspective, and now it's still really important that you understand the property. But yeah, no, I don't think Insomniac would ever want to touch Spyro again.
Yeah,
Like,
or they make a new one or whatever.
Yeah, but I don't even think so. I think those studios, they look back on fondness, and this is just my perception of it, but I think they, want to move on to new things. I think that's just, as a creator, that's just a natural progression, right? You want to keep moving forward.
Yeah, but you also have like your baby, right? Like, where it's like, yeah, it might not be a Spyro the Dragon, like, 3D platformer, but you made that IP, you made the personality, you made the character, like, pull them into something new.
I guess I think a Sucker Punch, for example, like, they just made Ghost of Tsushima, right? But they originally made Sly Cooper. Like, that's their baby. That's actually what got them started, because they were like a nothing studio until that game came out. And they made Sly 4 years ago, and they weren't involved with it at all because they were done with it, right? They were like, we're going to make our trilogy and we're done. So, like, they had the opportunity to come back, and like you said, that is their baby, but they're like, like, we need to, we're on to other things.
It's weird, though, because I think there would be a good reception, like, if they just took Final Fantasy, kept it top down, made it more fluid, obviously put in a new engine, like put in like Unreal 5 or something, right? And give it like the Spyro treatment.
Yeah.
Make all the lines voiced.
Yep.
And I think that'd
be great.
Work.
But
right? Like, people would really like that. Like, I could see it both ways where, like, yeah, you have this new remake, this like updated thought or whatever. And it might, like, that if that's the same studio or whatever, that's fine. But then, yeah, like, I think there is this thing where if you had a different studio come in, take the original source material, it doesn't have to be for like 7, but like, people want 8 redone. They want, or not 8, what is it, 9 and 6 or whatever.
It's rumored that 9, they're floating that around.
Yeah, I mean 10, whatever. But like,
yeah, all the popular.
You could redo those
6 through 10,
and just kind of just remaster them. Maybe get some updated cutscenes and visuals.
I'd love 10.
Yeah,
with really good voice acting.
That's what I mean. Like, I would love 10, just like, hey, give us 10, make it look like Spyro.
Yeah.
Like, in terms of like quality.
Put it
or
on
whatever.
Unreal 5.
Yeah.
Yep.
And then, like, I don't need like a 3-disc or like 3-game span
one
of it.
for
just,
one.
Yeah, I just want to.
Although that was a really long game.
That's true.
So
yeah.
it's like, I don't know. No, I think you're 100% right. But my counter to that is the ceiling's not higher, right? Because everyone knows what to expect. Like everyone who's played it knows what to expect if it's 1 for 1.
Mm-hmm.
And then, yeah, everyone who's new gets to experience that for the first time in a really cool way. But the ceiling is higher when you don't know. Like, I love the fact that, like, our friend Kyle, who Final Fantasy VII is his favorite game of all time,
right.
just loves that game, right? Knows it inside and out. He does not know. He's on the same level as me.
Yeah.
We don't know what's coming next. Well, I played the original after the remake, but
Sure.
you know what I mean. You know what I'm saying? Like someone who's new to the series, I just love that we're all in the same boat, speculating. It's just a callback to like the original, where these crazy things happen and nobody was expecting it, and then you're talking about that, and everyone's shocked, right?
Right.
It's like I like that it's a level playing field.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
I don't know. Like the remake is just like the characters made me attached to them. So it's like that's my Final Fantasy, right? Like I played the original and Kyle ran me through that, but it's just like it's fine. Like I don't know. I wasn't.
It's old.
Yeah. So
it holds up better than Tekken 3, but
yeah, probably. but
if you have a turn base, it's like bound to happen.
But that's the thing, though, is like it's if they had the original, but just ran better, was voice acted, and things like that, would I still like the remake as much as the quote unquote remastered original? Mm-hmm. That's always the thing, right? Like you want these games to keep coming up with you, so like your kids or your friends can play what you thought was like the best game of all time.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Because like right now, like for me, like objectively, it's not the best game. Like there's tons and tons and tons of games that do every facet of it better. It does a lot of great things, but like every single thing
I would argue
with
you. I think it's a very good story, but yeah.
Sure. But there are games with better stories out there. More succinct stories, better pacing. There's a lot, like, I'm not saying it's a bad game by any stretch, but I'm saying like it's been overshadowed, like probably much too, because it's like inspired a lot of things, but it's just like there are better things out there.
That's the beauty of it, I think.
Yeah. So like, why not take that and like just bring it out, like give it like a facelift to keep it on that level?
Well, that's what I thought they were going to do with that mobile game, because that's the style you'd want, right? Like that game looks really good. They have that.
It could be. I'm thinking even maybe make it
style
more realistic.
Oh,
but like still isometric, like still pulled back, but like super like ultra detailed and stuff. And then if you needed to, like
I don't know if it would still hit. I liked what they did with the mobile game because it still has that original feel, but it looks nice. Like it's a nicer look.
Yeah, and there are mods out there that make it look fairly decent.
Yeah,
and stuff.
yeah.
I'm just saying, if you're just doing that, then it's like, okay, like then is it actually worth it? Because you're not getting voice acting, you're not doing everything. I'm saying if you're going to go through and update the other stuff, like make it a better UI, make it a more accessible type there for like the user experience. I don't know. Yeah, it's a moot point because this is their thing. Like they're not going to touch Final Fantasy.
No, of course, but it's an interesting thought experiment.
Yeah,
on like what is the best. I like what they're doing personally, but I understand the other side of it.
It kind of sucks because like if I really enjoy this one, then I'm probably just gonna buy the first game again on PlayStation.
Why?
Just to have.
Oh,
because I have like the physical disc, so it's like if I really like this, stuff, because like I want to have the physical copy of the games that I really like on the platform.
How many physical copies do you have?
One. No, I have Horizon.
Okay. The first one?
Technically, I have Spider-Man because Mike hasn't given that back to me yet.
Spider-Man 2.
It's Horizon 2 because it's PS5, right? So
those
games
right.
were technically on 4 and 5 and stuff.
Yep.
Yeah. So I don't know. I never played the DLC, so it's.
I didn't either.
Yeah.
I didn't feel the need to.
Apparently, Yuffie's really good in this one.
Oh no, I did play for Final Fantasy. I thought you were talking about Horizon. Sorry.
Oh no, I didn't play the DLC. I don't do DLC.
If it would have gotten a mighty guy on Open Critic, I would have played it. But I saw it got purple, and I was like, that's not worth it.
Yeah.
Like to me, it's like, all right, if you're in the 90s, it's like, okay, this is critical to the experience. But if it's in the purple, it's probably like, oh, this is just more of the same. It's just good. It's solid.
If I'm platinum, like if I platinum your game, that means that I've put 60 to
Oh
100
yeah,
hours
for you,
into
dude.
it. So
Oof.
it's like
You're good. Yeah. Nah, that's why I don't.
I don't need a
that's
new
why I don't
area
100% things. I just can't 100% things, man. I don't know.
But the problem is, even when I want 100% something like Final Fantasy, where I'm like, I want to get lost in this game, right? Like, I want this to be the game I play for the next 2 months until like the baby comes, right? Like, I'm like, this is it for me.
Yeah.
And I don't know if it's gonna grab me. I think I'll be really, really into it in the beginning, and I'll try to like run to all, because like even in the opening part when it's like, hey, go to the inn or whatever, I'm like, okay, but then I go to like every place but the inn first just to explore and see what's there and everything. I found maybe like 2 chests.
I think you should just play it.
I think I should,
do your own
because
thing, man.
I play it that way for maybe like 20 hours, and then I'm like, man, this is like boring. But it's because
There's
I'm
20 hours in the game.
no. That's
The
how I
first
played
one.
the first one, where it's like
Gotcha.
I went through. And I'm not, technically not even the first one, because the first one did a pretty good job pacing wise. But it was like I would. So actually, Final Fantasy. Oh man, what was it? 13? What was it? What just came out? 15.
16.
16. Jeez. So 16 came out.
13 came out like 10
Yeah,
years
that's
ago.
right. 13, 2, 3, whatever. So 16, that's what I did, is I was like trying to explore and do all these little things, and then it was just like, dude, I don't care about this.
Yeah,
And
that's
then
a bad one.
Then I went to a
that.
point just like, I just need to get through this. So I don't want to do that with Final Fantasy. I want to play as much as I can, but I also don't get burnt out on
You
it.
gotta go your own pace, and you just do what you want to do.
Well, what I want to do is complete it. Like 100, like I'm the
Like,
completionist
why?
guy, because that's just me. That's how I play every game.
I mean,
I know that's a problem. That's a struggle.
I
First world
really
issue.
don't view it that way
Yeah.
at all. Like, I'm just there to have a good time.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm excited though, man. I'm so excited to start it. I'm gonna start it after we're done recording here.
Yeah. I need you to text me just like,
Yeah.
oh no, this
get a
makes
text
perfect
from me
sense,
after.
or no, this is what, like,
What's what did I text you? Oh man, my brain's like not working right now.
you need your morning coffee.
No, I don't, because I'm.
Do you want coffee, or are you still good?
I have this is a.
I know. I didn't know if you finished or not.
yeah.
I'm gonna get more. Do
Oh,
you
okay.
want more?
I'm good right now.
Okay.
I appreciate that.
Man,
I know I'm not. I didn't have my coffee, dude.
I
It's
know.
snapping
All
at
right,
you.
well, you keep thinking. I'm gonna grab more.
So, oh my gosh, you can't put me on the spot here. I don't know what I'm saying. It was. I was playing a game, and you were like, "Dude, text me." You're gonna text me. What game was it though? Alan Wake. And I did text you because it was the musical number. That game's so good. I turned at you in the theater yesterday, and I was like, dude, I just can't wait. I just think about that. Not every night or anything, but it pops in my head here and there where I'm like,
That's on
I'm
my.
excited.
It's on my Spotify playlist. So that one, it will just randomly pop up.
I just get a smile on your face.
Yeah, and I did change it to the radio edit, so it's like maybe like a 3-minute song. It's not like this 11-minute thing.
Oh, yeah. No, you can't do the...
But it's enough for me to be like, yeah, that's pretty good.
So good. That game was just Looney Tunes. Good.
Yeah.
In a good way. But transition. We were at the theater yesterday.
Yeah.
And we saw Dune Part 2. I've had a long weekend, so I have gotten no sleep. I woke up really early yesterday to watch Dune 1.
Yeah.
And then went to the theater later that morning to watch Dune 2.
How long is Dune 1? 3 hours?
2:45.
And this was 3, roughly?
It's about the same, 2:45-ish.
A lot of Dune.
Oh, I
All
watched
back to back.
5.5 hours of Dune yesterday.
Yeah.
It was a lot. And and then I was playing Persona for the rest of the day, and then I woke up early today playing Persona to finish it. So I've had a long weekend. Anyways, Dune, what'd you think?
I thought so. Calvin asked me the same thing. So thanks to Calvin for inviting us out to watch it. But I said that the acting was good. I actually liked the acting a lot. I was getting really strong Mad Max vibes, and maybe it was just because they had like a trailer for Furiosa out there or whatever. But it was just like,
Is that a prequel?
yeah, I think it has to be.
I guess.
Yeah.
Is it the same chick who played Furiosa? Yeah, right.
It's a new person.
So like I'm like totally out on it.
It's the girl from the Queen's Gambit, I think.
Oh, okay. I heard that was good. Sorry.
Yeah. Technically, it's the girl that was in Dune. His sister. There was like that flash forward thing or whatever, and she was standing there talking to him. Or
on
whatever.
the beach.
Yeah.
Spoilers.
Same. She plays Furiosa.
I mean, that doesn't tell you anything.
But anyway, I said that the acting was good.
Okay.
I thought that the storyline was like is fine. Like it was okay. Like he's trying to gain respect and whatever. I thought the pacing was just all over the place. Personally,
Okay.
I thought like unless I was just falling asleep, which I wasn't. Like I was pretty alert and watching it and everything. But I felt like there were these like long periods of like they did a lot of like character building and stuff like that, and it was fine. And then all of a sudden, just everything's blowing up and people are screaming and this guy is like going in like I'm gonna kill you and then runs away. Like Batista is like going to like murder these guys out of nowhere and then runs away. And
right.
It's just like there's a lot of things that like, oh, we have to get to this point in the storyline, so we're just gonna drop this scene in, and it doesn't seem like the scenes are connected correctly. I don't know. It was weird to me.
Yeah. So
what'd you feel?
No, I think that's fair. So the acting was good. I like the characters. I think they're all casted well, except for the Emperor, which is Christopher Walken, which is just such a strange pick. I like him as an actor.
Yeah.
For the Emperor,
and he was like, it wasn't bad. It was
but it
the moment
takes
he talks,
me out of it.
Yeah, the moment he talks, it takes you out.
I'm like, you can't have like
that would have been the ultimate thing is if he could get rid of his accent. Like if he could get rid of the way he
was
talks.
trying
In the beginning, like there was when he was talking really slowly or wasn't talking and stuff.
Yeah. But
I was like,
if he had any sentence over like 10 words, it was like there he is. So that was a strange choice.
Spice.
Yeah. But no, acting was really great. I think the best part of the movie for me was the visual effects.
And the sound was good too.
Well, yeah, visual effects and sound. That's a great point. The visual effects are unbelievable in those two movies. Like when you have that large scale and that much stuff going on, it's really easy to start seeing like the CGI in it, right? Like you think of something like, I don't know, like Godzilla.
Yeah,
right.
No, I actually, it's awesome that you say that because when I was watching we were watching the trailer for the new Mad Max.
Yeah.
I was watching it. I'm like, man, did I just like? I'll have to go back and watch the first one because I feel like I just did fairly recently. And I was trying to get you to watch it.
To me.
Yeah. Did you ever watch it?
Yes.
Oh, okay. So like watching that, it seemed very practical. Obviously, they had like CGI in there and stuff.
Yes.
But like when they're like hanging on cars and doing things, it felt more real. But
they did do a lot of practical effects in the first one.
But then watching the Furiosa trailer, it looked like she was like hanging on the undercarriage of a car or something. And it looked like the entire thing was just CGI'd.
Yeah.
And I understand that's a small vertical slice. But when you
it's
take
in your trailer.
Yeah. But when you take that and then you put it against something like Dune, where it's like, I'm assuming they were on sand the whole time.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
Dude, when those big sandworms are coming through and the sand's going everywhere, I was like, holy shit.
Yeah.
I didn't know worms grew that big. You know what I mean? It's like great. I don't know. It's always really good when you can see the budget. You know what I mean?
Do we know what the budget is for that movie? I'm going to look it up.
It's got to be a gajillion dollars.
Yeah. I'm going to check it out.
But I don't know, man. The effects were really great. And then the sound design, like you said, I think this is a must-see in theaters. So I watched the first one on my phone, obviously, which was really good still. But when you get that extra element of all the helicopters, Dragonfly helicopters going through, you feel the rumbling, you feel the impact of the missiles, you feel the blades hitting each other, and when projectiles are hitting shields and there's that uncomfortable sound of them penetrating
mom
shields.
Starts like screaming at somebody and it gets a different voice or whatever.
Oh yeah, the voice power is great, dude.
Yeah.
Have this insane bass to it that just
$190 million.
Yeah, that's
how much they have. They had 165 for the first movie and it garnered 435 million.
No, this one's gonna kill it.
Yeah,
I think they're gonna do 3. That's what I heard. He's gonna do 3, which would finish the second book. So the first book was done in 2 parts, which was these 2. And then the second book is really much shorter, I think, from my research. It's like 300 pages. The first book's
How many
like
books
700. In the original thing, I think there's 6, but then his son goes crazy. There's like 18 or something.
Okay.
I don't know. Spin-offs and prequels and shit. I have no idea. I saw 18 somewhere. I don't know if that's a real number, but I think 6 in the original, the guy who wrote them.
It made me very uncomfortable throughout a lot of the movie in a good way.
Right, like the religious stuff?
You're always just like...
There's something off about it.
Everything is just uncomfortable. Mm-hmm. Like even,
I felt the same way. I'm glad you said that.
Even when his buddy shows up, Thanos shows up. Josh, whatever his name is.
You mean
Josh something?
Josh Brolin?
Yeah.
Fuck. Who's he playing? Deadpool.
Oh, Cable. Yeah.
He's great.
But when he shows up,
great.
And he's like, "Oh, let's go get these warheads or whatever." It's one of those things, and I think it is the pacing. Where I'm like, dude, it's real convenient that you just pop up out of nowhere and then you have this family stash of nukes.
Yep.
And it's like, okay, did Elvis come in? So also the guy that played Elvis, what's his name? I don't know. He's a psychopath.
Yeah.
But anyway, he's there. And I'm like, did he come in and like he's pulling Josh Brolin strings?
Yeah.
I distrust him the entire time. And like, it's just like, I don't want to give spoilers away, but it's just like, I was on edge the entire movie
with him,
in a good way. Like it was like
there's something about the tone of the movie that's very uncomfortable.
Yeah. But it's like I guess it's supposed to be. Right?
Yeah,
like,
I think so. I think it's not a bad thing. It's like I don't know because like naturally I compare this to like Star Wars, which I was talking to Calvin about, especially because the
opening scene is literally Hoth. They're like
no, not necessarily, but it's like the marketing was this is the next Star Wars.
Yeah,
which technically, as Calvin mentioned to me, this is Star Wars was based on that. Like Star Wars was inspired by this.
Star Wars came out with a better movie. I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah. Okay. Look, it's going against A New Hope and Empire Strikes Back. Like it's like you're not gonna win, man. Because I was literally going back and watching clips from those movies just to see if is this just nostalgia or were these movies awesome? And then
I'm looking up when the first Dune movie was put out.
Okay, yeah, the one that was terrible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because so that came out in 1984.
Yeah, after Star Wars.
Exactly.
Right.
So Star Wars did their thing.
Right.
And it was really good looking.
Yeah, if you're talking movie, this is inspired by Star Wars.
Yeah.
But if you're talking concept, Star Wars inspired by this. It's a whole circle.
Yeah, I get you.
Yeah. But I was watching some Star Wars clips and the one, dude, in A New Hope, they go in, the whole arc where they break Princess Leia out of the Death Star is some of the best.
Yeah.
It's just so fun.
Yeah.
You just feel awesome. It just feels awesome. Han Solo's in the room. He's like, everything's okay in here. How are you? Fuck. Yep. It's like the best stuff, dude. When Harrison Ford's trying, there's no one better.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
He stopped trying back in 1990, but it was I agree with you.
So I don't even know where I was going with that. But they're very different feels, right? Star Wars is much brighter. It's much more. I don't know. To me, Star Wars is inspiring. I don't feel inspired by the main character in this one. I actually feel nervous because it's wow, this guy is getting so much power so quickly.
Yep.
And I don't know if that's the point. I would think that's maybe the point here because he's really hesitant about it. I mean, that's a big part of the movie, right?
He keeps saying
I don't want this.
Don't make me do this. Don't make me do this. Don't make me do this. And finally he's like, okay. And then just goes.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
But then he just has this moment where he's he knows everything now.
Yeah.
It's this guy's unstoppable. Mm-hmm. What? And that makes me infinite power makes me nervous. Traditionally when you're talking about a plot, you're usually rooting for the underdogs. You're rooting for the rebels, right? You're rooting for the Fellowship.
But they had no weakness. That's the thing is typically in a movie like this, you have the small guys, so the Sand people, right, are getting just routed. They're just getting just dominated. But this whole movie, I guess I don't want to get into spoilers, but it's
they dominate.
They don't have moments of weakness. No. It's just no, we're these rebel.
Well, they have one. They have one when the new guy comes in.
Sure,
which again, I'm gonna try to knock it in spoiler territory, but essentially, like, maybe this would. I don't
It
think
would be. I want to, because it just came out, so I want to like. Maybe,
Okay. So like, yeah, I guess the tactic he uses seems like the most obvious tactic in the world.
Yeah.
It's like nobody fucking thought of that.
Yeah.
Like his uncle's
that's
like,
what I mean.
what a genius, what a strategic genius. I was like,
Batista's this like just dumb.
might be the worst
idiot.
villain of all time.
Yeah.
Of all time.
Like,
but I've been told
Was he in that in the first one? Was he that bad?
No, because we didn't see him really.
Okay.
But all he does is yell at people,
Yeah.
kill them. He's worse than Vader. I think his
Yeah.
death count's higher than Vader. Like,
yeah.
Vader at least knows who his good guys are and he doesn't kill them, right? That's the thing about, I mean, that's what I was thinking about too. Like, okay, I just want to say, I want to reiterate, I really like the film. I think it's a great film.
Yeah.
I think some of the weaknesses is the villains are not great. Like, there's no one I fear in this, right?
I feel like religion. Like that's the thing is like it's the whatever the Ben Gesserit.
Oh yeah,
or whatever. Like the shadowy overlord people that are pulling on the
they're
strings.
cool.
They're the people that you're afraid of.
Yes, I agree. Okay, that's a great point. There's not that figure though, that one person.
But that's probably good because if you had that one person, then it diminishes their power, right? Because you don't fear anyone is because it's like almost like you see them just controlling everything.
They're just worthless. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's just like they're all pawns. Like
That's
no
a really
matter how
interesting
like
perspective.
you go all the way up to the emperor, pawn doesn't matter.
I think that's a great point. That's a really good way of looking at it, which maybe I just have to look at it that way. But like when you're fighting against a specific enemy, though, I think it diminishes like that final battle. It's like these guys are terrible. They're just incompetent. They're just getting steamrolled.
Like the Hornet things were just shooting into crowds of people, and I'm like, how are you targeting anyone? Like it's supposed to be.
Dude, I don't
like,
know.
I don't know.
So it's like, yeah. So
you have that. You have Josh Brolin coming over and like just screaming at someone, and they have like their like showdown that's like 5 seconds
like
long.
2 seconds.
But that's the pacing problem, right? Like to me, if you wanted to have some sort of like, even without like a big bad, right? It could be just this small skirmish, but no, you just see Josh Brolin run through dudes.
Oh, I don't get
the showdown.
The bald guys, okay? Like, they're supposed to be this fearsome warrior race, it seems like, or culture.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm just interpreting it incorrectly, but, like, they seem like just warriors, right? That's, like, their whole society is built upon. Like, the one guy, the new bad guy who's introduced is in this gladiatorial thing, but it's, like, rigged for him. And then he gets mad that it actually wasn't rigged. And it's like, well, where's your honor?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like, are you guys actually... I guess not, because you get fucking flattened.
I don't know.
It's really... I didn't respect them at all.
Yeah, they're not
But you're
powerful.
like you said, maybe that's the point. Maybe it's like they are not the issue, and it's this shadowy cabal, which I love. I mean, that order, the nuns...
Yeah.
That's that's my favorite part of it. And I think my favorite parts of the movie is the political intrigue of it. I really like that everyone's vying for power. Everyone's trying to make their own maneuvers. Like the ball guys are trying to take over. The Emperor's obviously twirling his mustache. And then really the chicks are all in charge pretty much.
Yeah.
Like they've been dominating everything.
Yeah.
It's cool. I like that.
It's great world building. It's really neat. Like they explain all the different things of like you're sandwalking and all that, and it's like it's cool.
It's a very fascinating world.
Yeah. It's just like jumping from scene to scene sometimes felt very jarring. Where one scene everyone's screaming and hating everything, and then like the next scene everyone's like behind him and like you're such a great dude type of thing.
Yeah, I think. Did you feel that the relationship
jumped?
It was just really quick.
Yeah, I mean, you needed it. You had to. Like, I will say that their chemistry, and honestly, Timothée Chalamet, like, he's a pretty good actor.
Oh yeah,
like he's very believable on that. Like for the most part, like
great, especially towards the end when he becomes enlightened.
He like changes his whole like
You can see the confidence and beauty. And he's
like he looks
like the scene when he's in the temple.
He's looking at everyone differently.
He just like commands respect.
Well,
man.
He just knows.
Yeah,
it's just like I've seen everything.
But I can.
This is like detached.
Yeah.
Thing. Yeah.
but he conveys it through his performance without telling you.
Yep.
That he knows. It's beautifully done.
Yeah.
I love that.
But yeah, I think was the relationship rushed? Yes.
Yeah, I
was
think so.
it still believable? I would actually say yeah. Like I was buying
Okay.
it. I think personally, because
I don't think it was bad by any stretch. I just
yeah.
That's to me. It seems like that's a really big part of the story, and I don't know if it was. Maybe there should have been a little bit more time devoted to that. I mean, there was a lot of time.
I think it would have
devoted to
slowed it down probably.
Yeah, I guess. I don't know. I don't know how you.
How like my thing is like how many more times could I see him flashback or flash forward? I guess whenever he's seeing the future, it's very like Mass Effect-ish, where it's like, oh, I touched the artifacts and I'm getting these premonitions or whatever. How many times do we need to see like
I love
people
Mass
starving
Effect.
or something?
Okay.
Yeah,
I love Mass Effect.
I know, but we saw it like half a dozen times, if not more.
Yeah,
Like
The
every
same
time.
scene.
Yeah, just over.
it's got a
and
soft
over
spot
and
on
over.
me. You touch a Reaper relic, you know what happened. You know the price
Well, no, I'm
you
talking
pay.
in Dune. It was like
I know. I'm
yeah,
saying.
yeah, fair enough.
Just say it's the same thing. Yeah, no, that's fair. I mean, they're really hammering it home. Mm-hmm. And it's like, dude, billions of people are gonna die. It's like that's fucking.
But his mom's
crazy.
insane. Like his like
mom went
everything
crazy,
just, yeah.
kind of.
I wish I watched the first one again just to
Oh, I was fresh.
realign. Okay, but like, do a lot of the characters seem different, or was it smoother than what?
Like acting wise,
For me, it was like a lot of the character. Well, I mean, really, just him and his mom. Like his mom specifically, where it's like drastically different.
I think
From what I remember.
she was different, but I think it's circumstance. I think it's very purposeful because you have to consider that, we find out in the first one that she is part of that organization and he's involved with this broader plan, right? That he might be the chosen one, but they're like still trying to feel things out. They're the best, dude. They're like, okay, he could be the chosen one, but we're going to put this guy up too because he might. They just have so many outs.
Yeah, they have a lot of safety nets.
Oh my gosh,
Yeah.
it's like genius.
But that's the big bad.
That is the big bad. No,
that's
I
the
think you
creepy
convinced
thing.
me on that. But I wish don't you think that you can still have a big bad like that? Like not even one person, but like an idea, but still have a competent brute that you're like, oh, this final battle is going to be cool? Or does the brute have to be incompetent to more strengthen the organization?
Yeah. I don't know, man. I liked the
I
new
think
guy they brought in.
Yeah, he was better than Batista. Batista might be the worst villain of all time. Like he might be top 5 worst villains of all
He
time.
might be pretty bad, yeah. Yeah.
Like he's worse than like Swiper the Fox, and Swiper the Fox fumbles the bag every time that guy's on screen.
Okay, fair enough.
He does.
Sure.
I mean,
That's a
how
good
hard
top
is it to
5.
steal
Yeah.
from a 10-year-old girl and a monkey?
For Dora the Explorer, for anyone not following that.
They're with
line.
me.
Okay.
They're with me. I'm telling you, man, this guy's a fox. He's supposed to be
Sure.
sneaky.
No, you're right. You're right. Not everyone can be Sly Cooper. Or he's a raccoon.
Oh, you
He's a
tried.
raccoon,
You're cute. You try.
What was I going to say? Yeah, I don't know. I think the guy, I keep calling him Elvis because I don't know his actual name, but I thought he was fine.
Yeah, I thought he was good. I liked him. He was creepy with his chicks that he kept.
Yeah, it's weird.
Oh, it's weird, but I like
it feels
that.
very Mad Max. Like, and maybe it is just because I
don't know.
We watched the Furiosa trailer, and that my mind was
Subliminal,
on that.
yeah.
But like everyone's super pale and bald, and like it just
Yeah, I mean visually maybe,
Yeah.
but and the desert stuff,
Yeah.
sure. That's another thing. Like the color palette in this movie is like really dark, but like the whole thing takes place on a desert planet. Like, what are you gonna do?
Yeah.
But that's like the vibe of the movie too, right? It's like bleak and, but yeah, I don't know. Star Wars is just like it's full of heart.
Star Wars is a very so Dune is very like I don't want to say cerebral, but it's a little bit more nuanced.
Yes.
And Star Wars is very much like good and evil. Root for the good guy. And think the evil guys are cool. Here you go.
I don't know if that's true.
The original Star Wars?
The original Star Wars
100%.
is good and evil, but I think
Yeah.
Dune's also just good and evil.
Not really.
I think so.
How?
The bald guys are just bad. Like there's literally no redeeming qualities. with
Maybe.
them.
They're
What's one like? There's not a single point where I was like, oh, I kind of see where they're coming from.
Yeah, but we can't spoil stuff. But
There's a point in which you felt that way. You don't have to tell me when, but there was.
Well, what I'm saying is like not all of them are bad.
Yes, they are. I don't.
But okay. Spoilers. We're gonna hit the 30-second button if you don't want to spoil it. But what's his face and his mom are from them, so it can't be. You know what I mean? Like there is nuance. So it's like like the overarching guy, like race or whatever, seems bad but like they're from them. The other person's what's her face is from them. So it's like.
The princess?
Yeah. So it's like like they're...
Yeah, but everyone who's removed from their culture is the only redeemable people. And then everyone who's like the bald-headed...
Yeah, but what I'm saying is
guys,
you only see
they're terrible.
You only see a few of them. You see that's like saying that...
I don't think the Empire's nuanced either. Like, they're just
that's
bad
what I'm
guys.
saying is the Empire is bad guys. But then you read a book like Lost Stars and you see how it's like...
Yeah.
They're all
That's when you
brainwashed.
get-
They're all...
yeah.
So like I can...
I don't think you get that in Dune, though.
You don't, but but I
Like,
don't
the
think,
Emperor's bad.
Yeah.
Just terrible.
Mm-hmm.
The bald guys are bad. The nuns are not... The nuns are bad. The sand people are good.
Yeah, but the sand people are good, but then like isn't the other guy like isn't his dad like running spice and doing stuff on the planet anyway, and the sand people didn't want that.
No, but like he was like trying to broker peace with them, and he's like, "We're gonna be different." And then he died.
Yeah, but
so that's like
that's
a noble death.
That's England coming over and saying to the Indians, "Hey, we want your land, but we're gonna."
No, I think
peace.
it's fairly black and white from my view.
Okay.
Maybe I'm not seeing it clearly, but
Yeah.
like a nuanced is like what's something that's really nuanced.
Episode 1 with the trade routes and.
I mean, you're memeing, but like
No, I'm being serious. Kind of.
Like
the original trilogy is very black
the more
and white
you read into Dooku, the more you're like, this guy.
I know.
This guy knows something.
Yeah.
He does. He saw the hypocrisy of the Jedi.
Yes.
All right, we can't go down this
No,
again.
we can't.
But I love Dooku. I think he doesn't get enough respect.
I completely agree. You should read his book.
He also 1v1'd Yoda, didn't he?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
He was trained by Yoda. He was trained by Yoda.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
Anyways, yeah. So Dune overall, I think good movie. I enjoyed it.
It was good. I don't know, waiting another 2 years for the new one or whatever.
More than that.
Yeah.
Because he was saying like he wants because the second book takes place like 12 years after.
Yeah, I think I would say like 10-year gap or something.
10-year gap
yeah,
or something. So he wants to. I mean, he's not going to wait 10 years, but a couple years to let them grow up a little bit. And
sure.
I'd be excited for the third one. I mean, I'm really glad I watched them. So shout out to Calvin.
I would say that if Timothée Chalamet doesn't come back and they just recast a lot of people just for the age thing, I don't know if that would take me out of it or not. But
that would take me out of it.
But Game of Thrones did that, and I was actually shocked at how quickly you accept it. And every actor was awesome in that show. Yeah. And it all just kind of worked.
Good. I mean, good quality will always overcome any of that.
Yeah.
Little technical stuff, I think.
Yeah.
Yep.
No.
Yep.
Go see Dune. I don't know if going to the waterfront for a worm bucket was the
I
call.
Didn't realize that was the reason we went up there.
Waterfront's not a good theater.
No.
I don't think it's a. It was like the seats and everything are just bad. Like it wasn't.
It's not the worst, but I would rather have went to the one next to my house.
Well, sure, yeah, but those have like the reclining stuff.
Those are
and all
nice.
that stuff.
As long as it has assigned seating, I'm okay actually with the movie theaters.
Yeah,
I don't think there's
done are the days of.
Oh yeah, I don't think there's a single movie theater that has.
I'm sure somewhere.
Well, yeah, but not that
it's like
I know
a budget theater or something like Waterworks or something. I don't know.
Oh man, that's the worst when you gotta find your own seat and ooh, yep. Anyways, that was good. I always enjoy going to the movies, and there's just not enough movies these days that I find it worth it.
Dune is worth it. That's something that like Kyle's gonna love on his sound system when all that stuff goes. Like he's gonna really love that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. Like it hits different in the theater for something like that, but the sound design was just really good. But like you were saying, not to keep harping on Dune, but like the music is not.
It's atmospheric.
It does
not
its
memorable.
Job.
It does its job. Again, that kind of coincides with you being in the theater, feeling the rumble of the bass that Hans Zimmer loves to do. It just adds that extra impact, right?
But it really wasn't like. Most of the time, it was just like sound effects that were getting me.
I agree. I don't think this. Don't get me wrong. I think the Zimmer does a good job of kind of
just gluing everything together.
Yes, but the sound design is, and the way I know this is that when you have these 1v1 fights, they cut all the music out. And I really like that, actually, where it's really, you're just hearing the steel hit each other and the grunting of the combatants. It's just very gritty and
it's primal.
realistic.
It's like
primal,
it kind of gives you, because a lot of the time with music, you can tell what's going to happen, right?
Yeah, foreshadows,
so
sure.
This is you bear with me here.
Okay.
So like if you're watching something like Love Is Blind on Netflix.
Oh yeah.
Right.
Great soundtrack.
You can see what the director is trying to get you to feel by, is the music jaunty, is it whatever. Doesn't matter what
reality
people are saying.
shows are
they're
really tipping their cap. Yeah.
And it's the same thing with like lightsaber fights and things like that. If it's like I'm gonna butcher this, but like if it's a major chord or a major key and it's like very uplifting and stuff,
right,
versus something like Vader and like it music makes you feel that. Strip that away, then like the fight could go either way. Now, granted, if Timothée Chalamet is fighting and it's 30 minutes into the movie, chances are he wins.
Yeah.
But how crazy would that be if he like died? And like anyone could have won in that. Like even though the outcome, the way it was presented, it's like you're basically just holding your breath. And it's just silent and stuff as you watch it going, and I think that's awesome.
No, I thought
really, really cool.
I really liked the direction of that. I felt the same way. I always think the absence of music is sometimes way more powerful. I always think of No Country for Old Men.
I never saw it.
There is no music in the entire movie, and it is the most creepy feeling.
Yeah.
You should definitely watch that. If we were still doing our recommendations, I'd sign that too, because that's a great movie.
I like when you have like uplifting music and like they won and stuff, and then it like fades out as you see like this just overwhelmed, like it was a really tough battle, they really overcame it, and then like let's say they blew up like a worm or something, I'm making that up, but then like you turn and then you just see like 5 other ones go. And you're just like, oh, okay, we're done. That could also be powerful. But yeah,
I was watching Independence Day, and
the original one, I liked too. Chelsea did not. We left the theater and I was like, man, I'm so happy we went to see this, and Chelsea's like, yeah, it's okay.
No, but when he's doing the speech or whatever, that's great.
It wasn't a good speech though. I don't
Really?
know. Everyone always pulls that speech as like
love
some of
that
the best
speech.
speeches, and it's like, it's okay.
It's the music that does it for me.
100%.
It is
exactly.
It is brilliant.
Yeah.
Like I can't even describe to you like how fantastic.
We did top 5 speeches, right? Didn't we?
No, we did video game monologues or something.
Okay. Yeah, because like Aragorn has one and stuff, and like when you just
Aragorn's
read it
great.
And stuff, it's like it's fine. It's
you don't
okay.
like Aragorn's speech?
It's the music. It's getting you pumped, but like the actual like speech isn't like this crazy well written thing. It just repeats a lot of stuff. Like a good speech is just repeating a lot of things and just saying like, even if you die, you're doing it for a cause. I don't know. It's supposed to brainwash
I think Aragorn's
people.
speech is good. I like Sam's speech at the end of Two Towers.
I think that's a better
good
speech.
one.
Yeah.
That's more of a monologue, I guess, but I guess a speech. Yeah, that one's really good too. Those are the two. That one might be better than Aragorn's. Although I think Aragorn's great.
Yeah.
We could do top 5 speeches.
In like cinema or whatever.
In cinema.
Yeah.
Yeah. Dune 2.
Dune 2.
Dune Part 2.
Yeah.
Good movie.
See, I would say see it in theater. I think. Did we see it in IMAX?
I don't think so. Isn't there only like a couple IMAX, like true IMAX theaters?
Well, AMC is one of them. That's why I thought originally we were going to go there.
I thought the only one in Pennsylvania was like in Philly.
There's one. It's like IMAX, and then there's
one above
another
that?
level or something.
Then it was probably IMAX.
Because there was one in Cranberry too, where it was like it's a specific scene or screen.
Super.
But we were walking, and I don't know if you noticed, but there's like a big IMAX. Like I think they only have one theater at AMC that's IMAX, or maybe they have two, one on either side. But I was like, oh, we're going to see it, and then we just like walk right past it. And I was like, oh, okay, because that's like the one that they renovated, so they have like one really nice theater.
I see. And we got put in the.
I don't even. It's not even a theater. It's like one room or whatever, and then we go next door.
Yeah, that's hilarious.
Yeah,
I was not paying attention because I was very tired.
Yeah,
but
got coffee there. Coffee wasn't bad.
No, dude, what a great idea!
Yeah.
Coffee at the movie theater, man.
Yeah,
that's fantastic.
Coffee is good because it doesn't make me have to pee. So
really?
Like, yeah,
it makes me have to poop.
Yeah, well, sure. That's like,
dude. Did you know we went at 10 a.m. because Calvin always falls asleep during movies?
That's why.
Yeah,
sure.
I thought it was an availability thing.
Yeah,
I would have slightly vetoed that, maybe like 12.
you know what? I actually wasn't upset about it because like we left there. I went and saw my brother-in-law, and we went through like some of the stuff for like stays and things like that.
That works.
And like I got home, and it wasn't like crazy late. Like it would have been like maybe like it was getting dark by that point. Like if we went at noon, not getting out there until like 4:00,
right?
And then I go into hit
like
so.
Yeah,
Selfishly,
it worked out for you.
Yeah, it wasn't too bad.
Yeah, that's good. No, it was good. It was a great experience overall. So, okay, we have more things to talk about.
Yep, sorry.
We got more things to talk about. Okay, while we're on movies, I'm going to shift to TV shows real quick. So, Curb Your Enthusiasm's final season. It was not good, but
yeah, it's fine. We'll let it go.
I was breaking it down in my head.
I was wondering how you're going to do the transition.
Well, there's other video game things that we're going to talk about. I was like, I'll stay in the.
I know you're thinking about movies.
We're going to go from
Let's stop talking about movies.
We're going to go to the
TV
silver screen instead of the.
Yeah.
What's the movies? Gold screen?
Big screen.
Big screen.
I don't know.
Curb Your Enthusiasm show.
Yep.
And they're on their last season. And I love Curb. It's hilarious, right? One of the funniest shows. And they've been going for like, what, 20 years?
Yeah, it's crazy.
It's
Go back
like
and
crazy.
watch the first ones.
I was watching some of the earlier seasons, and they're talking about Hurricane Katrina.
Oh, really?
That's like 05, right?
Sure. I mean, I was still working at GameStop.
That's
so it's
crazy.
Yeah, it's been a while. I don't know. 20 years might be a stretch.
I want to say it's close.
No, you're right, because we talked about this forever ago, where it's like they started way before, I think.
Yes.
There was,
and then there's a break, and they came back. Yeah. So anyways, and Larry David looks the same, which is the funny. Like, the guys look the same for 50 years, I swear to God.
Yeah.
So, I really like the show. I think it's hilarious. But I saw an interview with him, and he was like kind of peek behind the curtain sort of deal, where he was like, yeah, so the show's like pretty much improv, which I knew, right? Like they have a loose script, like an outline of what they're going to do, and then they just play with it, right?
Yeah.
But what he said after that was they do a bunch of takes and then they cut it together. So he gives a lot of credit to the editors of the show.
Yeah.
I didn't know that they did it so much though. Now
really?
I'm noticing every time they're cutting, like he'll say something and then the camera will come back to him and he'll have a different facial expression, and you can just tell it's a different take, and it is taking me so out of it, man.
So why do you do this to me?
Oh,
like I wanted to like rewatch, because we're finishing up. I was finishing up Parks and Rec, and then I was going to go to Curb. Maybe not.
Maybe you won't care.
I didn't notice it before.
Me neither. But now I'm just like, I see every take because it's just the slightest thing. Like, he's a little bit to the right.
Oh, just
and I'm like, oh my God, I can't not see this now. And it's every scene. I'm just like, oh, that was a different take. That was a different take. And now I can just piece it together. Oh, I wish I never heard that. Yeah.
If that's I thought you were gonna like.
No, it's not gonna ruin the show for me, but I am always watching it and just noticing that now.
Yeah, we're going through New Girl right now, and man, that's such a good show. It's very funny.
I heard that was a good.
You never saw New Girl?
No.
It's really funny.
I don't watch TV shows a lot. It takes a lot to get a TV show out of me, because that's a lot. That's big.
You're on the anime. Like, you're gonna watch TV, you're hitting anime up.
I haven't though. I've just been playing so many games. It's like
I really like the. Damn it, I forgot its name. I was gonna try to.
Yeah, good try.
Tensamushi.
You can't get that.
Season 2.
What?
I don't know. They just won best anime of last year.
Oh, did it?
Yeah.
Oh,
Tensen.
What is it called? I know what it is. Yeah.
It's like 2 words. Samurai. I don't know.
Look it up now.
Whatever.
It's not Samurai. It's
no 10 cent Black Rock.
10 cent. All right, keep going. I know what you're talking about.
I'm sure I have it somewhere here.
No, I have it right here because I watched it.
I have it right here. It's going to be faster. Jujutsu Kaisen.
Oh, that's not what I thought you were going to say.
Jujutsu Kaisen Season 2 won
It's not what I thought you
Crunchyroll
were actually
Anime of
gonna-
the Year.
I thought you were going Mashoko Tensei because you
It's
kept saying
basically-
10, 10, 10.
Yeah, what did I say? Yeah. Well,
Jujutsu
I meant
Kaisen doesn't have any 10 in it.
Kaizen rhymes with 10.
Nice. Good save.
Yeah.
No T's, though.
Well,
Jujutsu Kaisen was great. I haven't finished it, though. I'm like
Some call
halfway
it-
through it.
some call it Season of the Year.
I would have given it to, I think Vinland Saga came out last year, the second season. I think that was better. I mean, you can't get past the milking of the cows because you're a baby, but
Yeah.
yeah.
The intro is really cool. He was like jumping from boat to boat.
I think you just need to get to season 2 because I actually think you'd be one of the few people that would appreciate
Yeah.
the shift in tone. Whereas a lot of people are like, didn't.
I should watch Invincible Season 2. That's been out.
That's what you should watch.
Yeah.
I haven't watched it either, though, because I don't have Prime Video.
I think we have. Well, I mean, yeah, if we have Prime, we have it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I haven't heard a lot about that. Actually.
Me either,
Like
yeah.
when Invincible first came out, like it was all over the place, and maybe season 2 just didn't slap as hard because the shock value is over. Right?
If I look it up, it's just he's in Mortal Kombat.
Oh yeah. That makes sense.
Omni Man.
Omni-Man. Okay. So as I said, playing a lot of games.
Yeah.
Not even like a lot, but just games have been taking up a lot of my time.
Yeah.
So
You have significantly more time in one game than I do. Oh, I don't want to. Sorry.
What game?
Balatro. Yeah, Balatro.
Balatro?
Balatro.
Yeah.
It's officially Balatro, but we can call it whichever.
I
you want.
call it Balatro. And you have like 8 hours in it?
Yeah, unless you played more since you
Nah, there was just that first week
you just crushed it.
I was addicted.
Yeah.
I was addicted to it. And I still play here and there, but I got to finish Persona.
Yeah.
Well, I did finish Persona.
And we talked about it last sort of 2 episodes ago or whatever.
Yeah, you were describing it to me though. So now
Yeah.
I played it.
Did I describe it fairly?
You did, but you have to play it. It's one of those games
Yeah.
that's pretty hard to describe because
Yeah.
you were like saying stuff and you're like, you got to beat the blinds. And I was like, what does that even mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, no. So there's just like obstacles you have to get past. And then you get to buy from the shop and just make your deck stronger.
Yeah.
Essentially.
It's a poker deck building game.
Yep.
Real quick, because we don't have to spend a ton of time on it unless you want to like, did you want to review it or do we
I was going to give a rating.
just give a quick rating on it?
Yeah, just a quick what I thought and a rating.
My quick question for you is like, what's your opener? Like I found myself like whenever I start a match, if the you know you get like rewarded if you like skip a blind
Yep.
or whatever,
You do the double skip?
I typically will do a double skip and just go straight to the.
It
boss in
depends
the first
what's
round.
on the thing.
Yeah.
It depends.
Yeah.
Like if there's a rare Joker skip, I'll do that, but I'll
you-
have to play another one so I can buy the rare Joker.
Yeah.
So it really I
If there's ever like a
fluctuate
all the packs in the store are free next round.
Yeah, I always skip that.
always hit it. Yeah.
because you don't need money
Yeah.
at that point. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And then if you get a double skip with like 2 really good things and then you're able to beat that boss, you're just in such a good spot. So
I mean, the boss is 2 straights or a flush and a double pair, full house, or whatever. Like
So that picture I sent you where I got like in the exponents,
yeah, what the heck?
I got 2 legendary Jokers
Okay.
and then like 2 negative Jokers. And
Well,
I
the
was
thing
just
I like about
popping
that
off.
is if I wanted to see if I could get to where you got, is I can just pull your seed.
yeah,
and
I sent
put
you the
that in.
seed.
Yeah.
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 Yep.
Sounds a little gross.
Yeah. But
But I
it's
can
good.
do it. Yeah.
You could do it.
It's cool.
No, that was a crazy run. I could have gotten higher, but when you get to late game like that, my brain stopped working.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's like crazy, dude. It was so nuts.
Yeah.
And then I had DNA as well, so I could duplicate cards. So my whole deck was just like kings or something.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So I was just getting 5 of a kind every
Yeah.
hand, like guaranteed.
I got a couple of the tarot cards where it's like just replace, or maybe it was a Spectre card or whatever, but it's like replace this hand with all the same suit.
Yes.
And then I luck out and it's
I
like
love
just all hearts and
opening
stuff.
with
and it's
that.
Just, yeah.
Because then it's like, okay, I know I'm going flush build now, but I didn't already commit to flush build. So it's
Yeah.
like now I know which one I'll get to. Oh, That's the best.
There's one Joker card where it's like every time you play a blind, it increases the multiplier by like half or something.
Yeah.
But it deletes one of your Jokers. So like that's the only Joker you can have.
Oh, it eats them, yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
And it's like I got pretty far with that one. Like I got pretty good. But it's good, man. It's a fun game.
It's a really fun game, and it's just so creative.
Yeah.
I mean, we just live in such a age of indie games.
That's the thing is like that grabbed 8 hours of your time
instantly,
just automatically.
Yeah. It's such a simple. Yeah. It's not actually that simple because there's a lot of layers to it, but it's like
but it's like it's always simple. That one more. It's like you can and like it's
not quick though. Like when I was playing Hades, it was like quick.
Yeah,
one mores.
Yeah,
this was like another hour and a half because I went on.
Or
a
you're
big
playing
run.
like Tekken, and you're just like, I'll play 2 matches or whatever, and it's like
Tekken's
like
beautiful
minutes,
for the one more. Yeah, Tekken's great. Although my thumb starts hurting, that's when I know
we got to play more of that.
My thumb has a callus on it, dude.
It's your little Tekken callus. You name it Nina.
Crazy. Nina's wild.
Yeah.
Just so many half circles that I'm just digging in to that controller.
Did you get a controller?
No.
You can have the white one down there.
Why?
Because I got a controller.
Did you really?
Yeah.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because I'm purging and I'm in the midst of purging stuff. So just remind me you can grab it. The sticks drift, so they're not going to help you out. But the D-pad.
Well, no, I do need the better D-pad. I do need the better D-pad. I love Nina. She's great.
Yeah.
She's so awesome. Like I try other characters and I don't know. It's probably just because I started with her and I was like, I don't know. I've just put the most time in her. Although my second character is probably Azucena. I'm trying to get a second character up.
I love the idea that like, I'm not saying this is what we're doing, but I love if like you have like, your secret character that you're kind of working on, and like I'll have a secret one, and then we pull them out.
I shouldn't have told you then.
Yeah,
but maybe I can still get Justin. Although he listens to us.
Justin. Yeah. But, dude, he hasn't played, and then he'll throw out some crazy combo and.
Victor's crazy, dude. I struggle against Victor very much.
I play till I win, which I know sounds weird, but like weird. We're up high enough now that it's like
you're losing most of the time.
I'm losing a ton, but I didn't downgrade. But the past few times I've been doing it, I've been just crushing people.
Really?
Yeah.
So you've just been one and done?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. For the past I think every day this week. It's just like I just win, and
I wouldn't do that. I think it's better just to get the volume in.
Probably, but it's like okay, I play over lunch or something.
Oh yeah,
I'll do a quick match, and I'll be like, and I'll feel good about it. I'm like, I'm in a good mood. I'm happy with that.
But if you're sitting down to play a Tekken 8 session, you should just play it for like
for sure,
a couple hours. I need to get back into that, but like the single player games are just dominating my life right now. So Tekken 8's so good. Like. What a great sequel! Like that's the best. It's the best Tekken ever made, right? Like easily. I mean, I don't have the nostalgia you have, but it just to me in my mind, and maybe I'm totally off base on this, so let me know. But it just does everything better. It looks better.
Yeah,
feels better.
I think you playing it is a dramatic part of why I'm enjoying this one so much. Because if you were not into it, I think I would have dropped it a while back. I like it a lot, like actually more than most things. But like, you were the one that spurred me to like find my main and work through. Like, I'd still be playing like Brian or something and just kind of like doing stuff, losing online, and then getting frustrated. But the fact that you were putting the time in and grinding and being like, all right, well, I'm getting better here, and like you were talking about videos that I watched and stuff, like having you kind of like. Ironically enough, pull me along, like, is the reason why I like this one so much.
I think you need that in any competitive game. Like, I had that in League.
Definitely.
Like, I had my friends who were showing me the ropes, and they were super into it, so I was super into it. Yeah, it's really tough when you're on your own, obviously.
Yeah.
So,
like, you kept me playing it, and like, Helldivers is fun, and Power World was like okay. Like, I missed the boat on Power World, but like, yeah, specifically Tekken, it was like we clicked on that, and I was like, I really like it. And that'll just be something we just keep coming back to. Is
I'm just surprised that like I can hold my own.
Yeah,
I'm so new to it.
Yeah,
and I just feel like I'm not good, but
I will say the practice and all of that stuff is easily the best Tekken's ever been in terms of
Yeah.
like teaching all that.
There's so many tools.
Yeah.
I feel just like it's almost too many tools.
Yeah.
But it's like there's always something I can set. I mean, we talked about this in our review, but there's so many tools. Like I said,
Yeah. For me, it's like if you want to say like the best Tekken, I think I think people really like Tekken 5.
I hear 5 a lot.
Yeah.
But I don't know what they're talking. Like, are they talking balance? Or are they talking?
I think balance. I don't think Tekken 5 had a lot of walls and stuff.
Okay.
So Tekken 4 was the first one that actually had walls.
Yeah.
Everything else was just infinite.
That's such a big part of the game now.
Now it is. But I think Tekken 5 kind of pulled it back a little bit. Where Tekken 4, they tried a lot of things. Right? Like they changed up Jin, they made new characters and stuff. 5, it was like they pulled it back and they're like, okay, you guys really like 3. Here's kind of like this middle kind of hybrid ground that I think people liked a lot.
But I don't know. I sound like you at this point where it's like when you were talking about Final Fantasy 7.
Yeah.
To me, it's like that. I'm looking at it from the aspect of like this looks better than any Tekken ever.
Yeah.
This plays better than
easily.
any Tekken ever in terms of like smoothness and everything like that, right? Like,
I think the thing I'm missing is just like I think I'm missing the nostalgia. So like maybe when Eddie comes out, I'll get a little hit of that and I'll be like, okay, cool. Like,
well, that's because you're a Hachi guy.
Yeah, well, like a lot of characters now weren't from like the original roster. Like I told you, like I know about half of them. So like I'm missing a lot of that nostalgia. I was really excited for like the Tekken shop just because I wanted all those like classic characters and classic different things and stuff. And like that was so disappointing.
There were some of them though, right? Like Jin got a
kind of, but like Jin that was from 4
T4
when I hated like I loved Jin in 3.
So you're
Jin
only
in
looking
4.
for 3.
Not
outfits.
Necessarily, but partially, yeah. I don't
didn't like the other ones.
I don't care about the outfits as much as I care about like I want older characters. Like I want Lei, I want Bake, I want Bruce. I want I want like old school characters to be brought back in.
Eddie's in old school.
Eddie was in 3, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think that'll help.
Yeah.
Did you like him in 3?
Oh yeah. Eddie was one of my.
Really?
Yeah, but he was like the cheap character that just like you could just crush.
I'm not looking forward to him coming out. I think he's going to be annoying as fuck.
Maybe. I think once it'll be fun.
No, I think he's going to be annoying as fuck. I want Anna to come out.
Yeah,
I would be curious to see how she plays compared to Nina.
I'll be surprised. Like they were saying that a lot of the roster got leaked, and I know Eddie, but then the other three characters, I didn't
watch that video though because I don't want to spoil myself.
Yeah.
Did you watch that video?
I did.
Okay.
So I knew.
You
Eddie.
know what the rumors are?
Yeah, I know what the rumors are, and I don't know any of the other characters.
Oh, the rumors were just Eddie?
No, it was all 4 for the year.
Yeah.
But Eddie was the one that I knew, I recognized.
Yeah.
And I don't know the other 3 characters.
Oh, there were names, but you didn't know.
They were in previous Tekkens, but not that I really was into.
Oh.
So it kind of like took the wind out of my sails. Where I'm like, granted, it's rumors. Maybe it'll
Well, if they're
change.
doing Eddie, then that kind of covers them for the old one, and then they'll probably do the other ones. You got to think some people's 5 was their favorite. And they
like I said,
I'm
being pure selfish. I'm just saying, like, if you weren't playing or if I wasn't having that kind of rivalry, there's not a lot of nostalgia pulling me into Tekken. So if I'm playing by myself, I'm not usually I'm not the guy that's going to go online and just play random people. Usually,
yeah,
I am now just because I'm trying to
get better,
keep ahead of you, and get better. But
yeah.
Anyway, yeah.
I mean, that's a big part of it, but I think you still would have enjoyed the game.
Oh, 100%. But I would have, like I played Mortal Kombat, I would have played the story. I would have tried all the different modes and stuff, and then I'm done.
Yeah.
But like, I officially 100%ed Tekken, so like I hit the whatever achievement. Super easy to get. So if you want to,
there's not a lot
in the game. It's 47 achievements, and the last achievement is just get all the other achievements.
Yeah, there you go, 46 achievements.
Yeah. But anyway, I don't know how we got on that, but Tekken's great.
I don't remember how we got on that. Tekken is
Balatro's good. Balatro's good.
Balatro.
Do you want to give a score?
Yes. So it's always really tough, right? Because you're just going back and forth from playing these big budget games, and then you play these small indie games, and it's just apples and oranges.
Yeah.
So how do you compare the two games? I mean, it's so like you look at Tekken 8, for example, it's like so much budget
Yep.
in this game. Like this has to be easily the highest budget Tekken ever. Like
Yeah.
you can tell that they put a lot of effort in it, and it looks amazing. And the characters look so good in that game.
Yeah.
Like I really like the character design. But in Balatro, it's just a card game that's in this like CTV like
So I shut
style.
all that stuff off. I turned off the shake. I kind of made it a little bit more.
I actually think it looks like garbage when you turn all that off, so I keep it on. I lowered it a little bit, but
I turn it all off just because on the Steam Deck it plays a little better on a small screen.
Yeah. Interesting. Okay.
The way I view it is, and we talk about our rating system where it's like, for if you have an 86, that's a silver. If it's or
86 up is gold.
Yeah. Where it's like, okay, how much did I like this game? I think it came out of nowhere. I really enjoyed it. I think that it does stuff differently than like anything else.
Yeah.
So in my mind, bare minimum, I would give it an 86.
Right.
But when I take that and I look at, what does it have to offer? Like how much extra stuff do you get where it's like you have endless mode, you have all these other things you can unlock and all these different decks and, what they say, like 150 different jokers, which are all randomized stuff for the game and whatnot. Has a good not multiplayer component, but like good, hey, here's the seed, you can go play it and try your hand on it or whatever. But I think it's really, really clever. I think every time I play it, it feels new. Like, yeah, it's like, okay, I'll do a flush run or I'll do a straight run or spades or whatever. But it still like kind of like you get one card that can completely change your entire goal, which I think is really, really neat. So for me, it's like I do a quick judge of how do I like the game. I really like it, which, okay, that's gold tier for me. And then what would I change about the game? What does it not maybe do as well? And if I start having like more and more things that I'm trying to I really can't say too much, right? Like there's not a lot that I'd be like, oh, if it just did this better, it would get higher for me. Like I can't really think of anything off the top of my head. So then it's like, okay, well, like I'm putting it like 91, 92. Like that's kind of where I'm at.
Yep. I think I'm at 90. So a very similar thought process where it's like, I think it's just fun. Mm-hmm. It's not anything like you can just sit down and play, I think. Because you have that 52 card standardized deck, poker hands, like it's very easy for anyone to jump in.
Yeah.
Now the jokers are a completely new dynamic, right? There's a little bit of a learning that goes on with there. I don't think anything too crazy though, but that initial what am I trying to accomplish is there, and it's just math. So it's like I think anyone can play that game, have a great time. It's very universal in that respect, which I think that's a sign of a great game where anyone, because you were talking about like, I remember we were talking about greatest games of all time and stuff, and you're like, well, I think it should be something like Mario because like anyone can enjoy that, right? So I think there's like there's something there when it comes to that where it's like you don't have to like a specific genre for this.
Yeah, it's like a puzzle game. It's like a rogue like it transcends.
Yeah, but I don't necessarily like puzzle games and those card like Slay the. I never played Slay the Spire, right?
Yeah, Monster Train. Yeah.
Yeah, but I think it's easier to gravitate towards something like this, like to introduce you to that genre.
Might actually
maybe
really like Slay the Spire, to be honest.
Yeah, no, I'm saying like I remember I was talking to Nate, my cousin, about this, and he didn't like Slay the Spire that much, but I think he might enjoy this game if you give it a try. So, anyways, I was thinking 90 because I think it's just a solid game. It's that it's a new experience every time. You get to think creatively about the different builds you want to do. I'm still discovering new jokers and like putting things together. And it's like, oh, but if I get these two, that would be a crazy combo. And so many unlocks. And then you have the different levels that just add a new layer to it, right?
Yeah.
So you unlock all these decks. And then once you get all the decks, you can start beating them again to get levels. And it gets harder and harder. And you got to be more creative. And It's there's so much to it. It's like a balloons tower defense in terms of content, man.
I wouldn't even go that far, but it's a lot. Yeah, I mean, I guess technically from a way,
it's not as much as Balloon.
You can kind of completely change how you.
Yeah, Balloons is crazy. That's the greatest game ever made. But
you good on your mic?
I just keep unscrewing it. Balatro is really great. I give it a 90. Yeah. I think it's just a solid.
I'm good with 90. We can do that as the cash go. What do we give Tekken? 92?
92.
Okay.
I gave it a 92. I was higher than you on Tekken 8, which is crazy.
Yeah. Well, you're typically trending higher on on stuff than me.
Oh, I guess that's not crazy.
Yeah.
Although Tekken, like I just thought you're.
Yeah, well, that's what I mean. If
If
they had more OG
3
characters,
remastered,
yeah.
it would have been 100.
Yeah. If it had, I think, a better story.
I thought the story was fine.
It was fine
Dude,
for a fighting game.
Well, we already went way into that, but
yeah.
In terms of fighting games,
90.
stories
We'll
aren't.
do Balatro at 90. I'll put that on the chiseled.
All right, where are we at? I wanted to talk about Persona 3
We're
real quick.
at 90 minutes in.
So I finished Persona 3 Reloaded this morning, and I just want to quickly share my thoughts and then give a rating because Tyler's not going to play it because he's scared.
I have no desire, dude. I have no desire to play Persona.
No. If anything, you're going to play Yakuza, right?
If anything, I'd play 5 before I played 3. Like, if anything, I'd play Yakuza first. But like, if it's like you have to play a Persona game, I'm playing 5. I'm not playing 3.
Yeah, that makes sense. So
Also not playing 5. But go on. Sorry.
Shocker. Yeah, I really like this game. I mean, it big shock. I'm really into the series. And this is just more of what you'd come to expect from a Persona game. Now, I tried to do a little bit of research before the episode today I never played the original, right? So there's actually a couple versions of it. So there's like the original on PlayStation 2, but they did a portable version, which was actually the version that they had on Game Pass like last year or something. So I saw a little bit of the portable version, but then I went back to do some research on the original because I wanted to see what they changed, right? Mm-hmm. And they actually really overhauled this game in a lot of ways. I think this is another example of something that's really well done in terms of that remaster / remake kind of.
Yeah.
I don't know how many ticks this would get, maybe 2 ticks over because they completely voice act almost the entire game. Like, I think there's more voice acting in this than 5, which is crazy.
Wow.
Because like a lot of the dialogue that you have with your teammates and stuff, and maybe I'm misremembering 5 a little bit. Maybe I'm not giving enough credit in terms of how much voice acting is, but I thought there were a lot of dialogue boxes, and you only get the voice acting when you're in their
You'll get like that like
moment
or whatever. Right. Like when you talk on it, it's like, okay.
Yeah. And in this one, there's still some of that, but there's a lot of it is voice acted. Yeah. And their cast is great. I think all the Persona games always do an excellent job of casting because I think there's a lot of crossover from like the anime community, which makes sense.
Sure. But
those voice actors are top notch, especially these days. I think they're incredible. When you talk about English, like dubs. Mm-hmm. So that was all great. It looks great. It's in Unreal 5, so it looks great. I will say some of the background stuff, the textures are terrible for some reason. It's really strange. So like in the classroom and stuff, like the posters on the wall would just be the most low res garbage. But the characters themselves are very good. They're crisp. They did so anyone who's played Persona, like when you're talking to someone, their portrait kind of comes up and then their text box. Their portraits are all new and fresh and sharp and hand-drawn and stuff, right? And they look great. So, yeah, the game's presentation, which is always one of the strongest points of Persona, is just on point. And it just puts it into the new age where it just has these flashy animations and like when you're doing team moves and everything, you're doing your super move, it's just this over-the-top spectacle that's really awesome. I think the menus are really cool, too. Like, I think that stylistically, just some of the best parts of the game and what draws me into it a lot. In terms of the gameplay is similar to the rest of the series, although they've updated it in this one. I don't know exactly how. Like, I think there's just some small tweaks and quality of life things that they did. Like you can... Well, there's like the super moves and stuff, and then there's like team attacks, which I don't know what was in the first one, but a lot of the gameplay is like finding the enemy's weakness, knocking them down, and then doing a team attack. That's a big part of the game. So I don't know if that was necessarily in the first one. I couldn't find that, so maybe it was, but I think they did add a lot of quality of life things to the game. I will say that the gameplay loop gets a little repetitive for sure. You're kind of doing the same thing over and over, which I think they're all kind of like that. But it's essentially Pokemon. So anyone who likes Pokemon but hates it in this game is kind of hypocritical in my opinion because it's the same gameplay.
Yeah.
You're trying to find the weakness. Mm-hmm. You know, you have all the elements, and then you're using your moves that have elements to counter their weakness. All right.
Right.
Seems pretty samey to
A
me.
little reductive, but sure.
Well, what else is there?
No,
I have some moves that increase my defense.
Well,
I have some moves
one game you're shooting your head. The other game is cute little pocket monsters.
Okay. Have you ever seen Power World though?
Yes.
Could I introduce you to both of those realms?
That's fair. That's a good point.
Anyways, so I thought the gameplay didn't bother me. I think because like I was talking to Jeff about this a little bit, and he said he was getting really bogged down in that loop. He was playing on the hardest difficulty though.
That's sure.
So I could definitely see getting burned down on that because that would slow the game down a lot, obviously. And I wouldn't want to be in there more than I was. I was on normal difficulty where I could get through it. The bosses were maybe, you had to think a little bit, but generally I could get through it. And the gameplay is not the strongest part of the game. So,
are you doing that with Final Fantasy as well? Like, are you just kind of keeping it normal, or because you're so into Final Fantasy, you're going to up the difficulty?
I'm keeping it normal. I'm into Final Fantasy because of the story and everything.
Yeah. Okay.
I do enjoy the combat, but I don't know.
No, I'm with you.
There'd have to be a very specific game where I go on hard.
Not to derail the Persona talk, but Final Fantasy does a weird thing where it will say easy, which is like story only, normal, which is how it was intended, and then dynamic.
I saw that.
Yeah. So
there's no hard mode.
Yeah, it's just based off of your skill level, which is interesting.
Okay, so it's like an unending ceiling.
I don't know.
It's interesting. It's an interesting concept. I was seeing that. Everyone was like, oh, I'm playing on dynamic mode. I didn't know what that really meant.
I think Souls games need that. Just like
when I'm being crushed, maybe you can. They'll never do it.
No,
that community is so passionate about gatekeeping.
Yeah.
From scrubs like me.
Yep.
Oh, whatever. But then even if I were to play one of those games and I would do like a broken build, they would probably yell at me still, being like, "Oh, he's just doing the
either make
sneaky
it
archer
accessible
build.
and let us play it, and then we'll." Anyway, back to Persona. Sorry.
So yeah, the gameplay I think probably the weakest element of the game, although it didn't bother me too much. I enjoyed it because I like. A lot of the game is like getting all these different personas or Pokemon, depending on what game you're playing. And then you fuse them and you make stronger ones. And that's kind of the loop there. And I like that. I like seeing those numbers go up and getting stronger and getting really good abilities because you fuse certain ones together. And
sounds a lot like the Tactica thing that they had put in.
Well, this has been all the personas.
Yeah.
So
okay. I didn't
took from the.
Well, I didn't realize how similar that thread was.
Except this is just like turn-based Pokemon combat.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, anyways, that was all good, and then the story was like really good. I thought I don't know if it's my favorite story. This one's a little bit more straightforward than the other ones, which makes sense because this one came out first in like 2009, and then they kind of have been one-upping each other since. Like 5 had some pretty crazy dynamics to it. 4 was pretty interesting as well, where there's some plot twists thrown in. This one is like pretty easy to see where it's going.
Yeah.
And like who the bad guy is. But it's still good. I think it was still good. And the best part of the game, in my opinion, is the characters. Like one of the main mechanics of the game, obviously, is you get these social links, they're called, with characters, and you level them up and you get their backstory and their character arcs and whatever. And that's my favorite part of the game. So that's in this. There's a bunch of them. It's actually really hard to max everyone out. You have to like do it. I don't know how anyone does it without a guide. Like you have to be so efficient with your time, which I really don't like, because it's like, if you don't use a guide, you're going to be missing a lot of character moments. So it's like, you pretty much have to.
Not to derail, but in the Rebirth, right, for Final Fantasy VII, you know how you go into like Tifa's house and it's like you can like rummage through her things or whatever.
Yeah,
like that freaked me out because it's like, is this going to be like a Final Fantasy X-2 situation where if you do one thing wrong in the very beginning of the game, that blocks you out of like your relationship thing or whatever?
That's crazy.
But who did you go with in Persona? Did you go with your heart or did you go with your guide?
I went with my heart.
Nice. All right.
She's you're on like the track team in that game, and she's the equipment manager.
Okay.
And she's great, dude. She's so nice.
What's her name?
Yoko.
Yuko.
Yuko.
Okay.
Yuko.
Yuko.
I don't know. It felt like the most natural one to me. And then she was like super nice. Now I was thinking about this too. It's like she's not part of your team, right? She's like a other, like a regular person.
Yeah.
So it's like, would that affect things? Because it's like, you know how you go through something really traumatic with a group of people, and it's like
you get closer
they're the only
with-
ones
yeah.
that can really understand me. So I was like, maybe that would factor in. Anyways, I picked her. She's great. But there's a lot of great characters in that game, and yeah, I don't know. Like, I'd have to go back and look at the other casts, but this might be one of my favorite casts of characters. Like,
Nice.
they were really well done. I liked a lot of them, except the best friend character. He sucked. The guy in 5 is so much better than him. He's a whiny bitch. He's jealous of you the whole game. He's like, well, if you're so special, then I'm like, fuck you. And then you go around and you're saying you're my best friend. All right,
It's a
rant.
tough line. Like, I typically either hate the main character or I hate the best friend in games like that.
Well, the main character's nobody. He's a nobody.
Yeah, well, that's what I mean.
You pick everything he says.
But like, it's one of those, like, it's a fine line to walk if the best friend is like somehow your best friend is cool in 5, and then Neon White is another one where he's like so over the top, very much like 5 actually.
Yeah.
But like, it's fine.
Dude,
like, it's
Ryuji in
okay.
5 is one of my favorite. He's over the top, but he's like loyal.
Right.
He's your
Yeah.
boy. Like,
Yeah.
he would never be jealous of you. He's like happy for you.
Yeah.
Whereas in this game, you get voted as the leader because you're the main character.
Sure.
It's hilarious.
It's
So
just
because
more of a
you never
rival.
say anything, and they're like, "This guy's so charismatic. Gotta make him the leader."
Yeah.
It's like I didn't fucking say a
I
word.
hate silent protagonists.
Yeah, I know. But it's just so funny. All the girls are like, "Oh my God, you just understand me." And you're just sitting there just looking at them because you never say a word. Yeah, he's just a jealous bitch. And I hate Junpei. He kind of sucks. He's F tier. I should do a tier list.
Ooh, you should.
You get a dog, which
Nice.
is awesome.
Okay.
He's on your team. He's a
You
persona
get a cat
user.
in 5. It's fine.
Oh, yeah, you do get a cat. Although she's not a cat or whatever. Or
Yeah,
he's not a
sure.
cat. It's a guy, right?
Is it?
I think so, because he's trying to fuck the one girl.
Oh, okay.
It's a whole
Well,
thing, man.
I get far enough in there, I guess. Sure.
He's got a crush on the one girl. Anyways, overall, this game's great. If you like Persona, you're going to like this game. I think they did an amazing job remastering it, bordering on remake. I think the integrity of everything from what I saw is there, but they just put it over the top. The voice acting, stylistic choices, quality of life choices. This is the best way to experience that game now, which is kind of what you were talking about with like Final Fantasy, right? Like, this is what you would want to see, I guess, if you were like OG Final Fantasy, because like there's not really a reason to visit the old game. I would say, honestly, I think you're getting everything here. Maybe someone who's like a diehard OG fan would disagree with that, but from what I gathered, this just seems like the way to go.
Nice.
And it modernizes it and does a good job in that way. So
So what are you going to give it then?
yeah, I was at an 88 for this.
Okay.
I thought it was a really great game. Definitely deserves to be in the gold, I think. I think it's really polished and well done. It didn't quite get up to like Tekken or Balatro, just comparing to like recent things, because it is a little slow at points. It takes a lot. Like, I wish this game was like 20 hours shorter, man. Like, I think you could have cut out a lot of the, going into the dark place or whatever it's called and doing the combat stuff. Like, I think you could cut a lot of that out, or cut some of those bosses out, because that does drag, and that loop it's not the most exciting part for me. Maybe some people like that grind, but I think generally people would get kind of exhausted, especially if you do. I could only imagine Jeff doing it on the hardest mode. That sounds like
beat
a
it?
nightmare. No, I think he stopped
Yeah,
because
stopped doing it. Yeah.
just hit a wall. Like, that's, and again, with the time efficiency thing, if you're having to go in there more than what's optimal, you're losing out on, and it just compounds and snowballs. And I can only imagine how behind he would be on, like.
Is he doing Final Fantasy? I assume he would.
Yeah, I assume so.
Yeah. Okay.
I don't know. I haven't kept track. I should
Tune into
Keep
What Killed Jeff.
Yeah, What Killed Jeff. Twitch.tv/What Killed Jeff. Great guy.
Yeah.
Friend of the show. But yeah, that's all I had.
Nice.
88.
All right. So
I should get
88
you.
for that, 90 for Balatro.
Yeah.
All right.
Tekken's still on top for us.
Tekken's real good.
Tekken's really good.
Yeah.
Tekken's really good. I really enjoyed Tekken.
We'll see how Final Fantasy goes.
I was shocked at how much I enjoyed Tekken.
I know.
Yeah. Anyways,
cool.
That's all I had.
Yeah. Sorry for the echo. If anyone's still here, we'll go back downstairs. I'm gonna try to move some stuff out and get things kind of like start pitching it. But I told Joe like he's building everything. I went over there yesterday, checked out the stage, checked out the sheen on everything and whatnot, and it was all good. And I think we're going to get lumbered today. Which will be good. But,
that's awesome.
Yeah,
it's coming together. Stay tuned.
Yeah.
But if you did make it this far, we appreciate that. Check us out, couchcompany.games. Kind of went over some ratings today. We have all of our ratings on there. I think we're up to 4 games. Did you rate Skull and Bones?
No, Skull and Bones. I played the demo of it and it was just like,
it's
awful.
Can't.
Yeah.
So we have like 3 games, I guess. Tekken, Balatro. I have Persona.
We both did, we did one other one.
It's Prince of Persia.
So
we got like 4.
So we'll have 4 on there.
Do you have another one though, right? You did something else.
No, I was doing Balatro, and then you
I jumped on.
Yeah,
that.
you jumped in.
Yeah.
So which is awesome. So I'm gonna update that because I think I had something on Balatro.
Okay.
I'm gonna do Little Guardsman.
Yep, classic.
In my spare time.
Absolutely.
Which is you're apparently a gatekeeper.
Yeah.
And people try to like get into the kingdom and they'll like give you some sob story like, oh, I'm just a peddler of whatever.
Oh, that's like Papers, Please.
Exactly.
Yep.
Yeah, but I like this art style and everything. It's really cool. So
I might try that. I liked Papers, Please.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So check us out, couchcompany.games. All of our ratings are there if you're curious.
Prince of Persia will definitely be up by the time this airs. So that will be up there.
Yes. Very good.
Maybe Tekken, we'll see.
Maybe Tekken. All right. Well, thanks for joining us. We're going to be here same time, same place next week. Thanks for joining us on the couch.